anybody here today here the last time? Yeah! A few of yous. Well, you might remember a poet by the name of Stephen Murphy. Yeah! He had a powerful poem, and this time he's got a different poem. It's, well, I haven't heard it yet, but I've seen a bit of it on YouTube, so please put your hands together on the stage. From Leitrim, Stephen Murphy.
How are you? Alright, are you? Any old scandal, like? What are you all here for anyway? What's this? No way we won't pay business. I want to get that, I don't know where it's gone, but you know that airfield says no tricolour. We should fly it from the top of the fucking spire. Take this country back. 3 weeks ago I was on this stage. And I asked the question, was it for this? Today I'm back with the letter for the Taoiseach. This is called Dear Enda. And I know nobody's got any money, but if you like it, share it with your friends. Let's spread this message. We have social media, we don't need RTE. Let's keep the good fight going. Thanks, Mo. Dear Enda. As I write this, there's a scandal going on outside my wall. Some fluorescent jacket vandals are attempting to install a meter set to privatise another state resource, and I know you said to suck it up and let it run its course, but it's hard to just get on with things and pay another levy. With the taxes that you've laden us already weighing heavy on the shoulders of the people you were elected to defend but neglected at the first sign of your European friends. So I asked them if they wouldn't mind not doing it for a while. See, I don't like being rude, but I have a wife and child, and at 7 in the morning I try to let them rest because it's hard enough already and the nights are often stressed. But they didn't seem too interested in having a discussion. When I asked them if they thought about the future repercussions of the job that they were doing, or if they named their boss, they turned around in unison and told me to leave. In no uncertain terms. And though I try to be polite, I will admit I weighed them up and thought about the fight. But with one of me and 4 of them, the odds just weren't that great, so I cursed them to a knot and then accepted that my fate was to be bullied by these henchmen who refused to stop and listen, or to see what they were doing was a frivolous position, that the wages they were earning would be spent upon the tax, and with all the bridges burning that there'd be no turning back. But I was going to post this to you. But I don't have your address. So I'll stick it up on YouTube, hoping others do the rest. And now you'll come across it someday soon enough to take a stand and stop the madness happening to the people of this land. Because I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the country's being robbed. And I thought that you should know this so that you could do your job. You don't have to reply to me. I don't need to hear your thanks. I just see it as my duty to tell you that the banks are stealing billions from this country. To fund illegal loans that were given to the people that they've now driven from the homes, that they pushed them into buying by a method of pretending in a fraud they came to call fractional reserve lending. Look, I know that's really wordy, but in truth it simply means that the money they were given out had far outweighed their means. It was created out of nothing and to nothing could return if the fraud was finally recognised and the banks were left to burn. You might say it's not that simple, but I kind of think it is. Because the debt is only real if we acknowledge it exists. And considering that the system is designed and built on fear, I don't think it's unreasonable to try and be sincere. Or to say that just because the banks can magic money from thin air, it doesn't mean they're God, and it doesn't make it fair to impose their own agenda on the country as a whole. So I'll pose this to Enda. Do you think you're in control? Or can you see the strings now pulling you in all the wrong directions. Is this really how you pictured it when you first ran for election? Or did there come a point where you just simply didn't care about the people at the bottom and the lives they're living there? But a part of me would like to think that maybe you just don't know. That rather than being in on it, you're actually just slow. A quintessential agent, just a culty from Mayo. Who made his way to Taoiseach because he'd nowhere else to go. But I write for the disaffected, the disjointed, the naive, who voted Fine Gael because they wanted to believe that by doing so there'd be some sort of seismic shift from the failings of the past and the changes would be swift. But they've realised your policies are essentially the same, and they're paralysed in thinking that they're the ones to blame. So they'll wait it out till voting time and then they'll pass the ball back across the courts again and vote in Fianna Fáil. Two chicks and the one earth. And on and on and on it goes. And nothing ever changes. They just go back to the polls and the cabinet rearranges. The left goes up, the right goes down, the right goes up again. And the bird keeps flying straight towards its own uncertain end. But I've come to thinking over time the bird needs to be shot. If there's any hope to truly change, it's time to stop the rot. We'll stuff it and then put it in the oven on to roast and wash it down with wine and raise our glasses in a toast. But it's grand for you now, Enda, because your rug is nicely cushioned. But to be honest, for the rest of us, the agenda that you're pushing is sending people to their graves every single day when they're not down at the airports to send their kids away. But if you actually give a shite, it still isn't too late to turn the fortunes round for the future of this state. But for now, I better go. I think I've said enough. Canary Linka Joe, Slán is Bannock, Joe.
Taoiseach. Isn't it incredible the amount of talent and passion in this country? We come from a long, long line of bards, druids, kings and queens. Stephen Murphy from Leitrim.